favorite people. I'm MK.
Hi, I'm Eneija.
And I'm Maddiie.
And we are coming to you not live.
Alive.
But barely.
Just.
From the day after PAX. We had so much fun at PAX East in Boston. And we have some convention and PAX survival tips for you
Survival
guys.
tips.
Things we learned.
Things we learned at PAX.
Things we've learned over the last, couple PAXs, things like that. But, really, really helpful tips. Number 1, stay as close as possible. You want your hotel to be as close as possible to the convention center, even if that ends up being a little bit more expensive on the hotel end of things, because I can tell you this, if you're not within walking distance, you will spend a small fortune on lifts, Ubers, taxis, even if there's a good subway system, that is a lot of time spent walking. If you're staying more than like a 10-minute drive away, or if you're staying not within walking distance, you're going to be stuck there all day, and chances are you won't have time to go back to your hotel between like the convention and dinner. And you're going to be lugging all your stuff around all day.
Number 2, save room for swag. So when you're packing, you're going to be putting in all these clothes and all these things, and you're going to be like, I'm going to need this, and I'm going to need that, and then you might wind up with a really full bag. But what happens then is you go on the trip and you start seeing all these amazing things in the booths, and you wind up not having any room in your suitcase to bring it back. So when you're packing, make sure you save room for swag.
Number 3, make sure you pack 2 pairs of comfy shoes. Not just 1 pair of comfy shoes, because after walking around for 12 hours wearing the same pair of shoes, your feet are incredibly sore. And just changing those shoes, it helps your muscles in your feet. They'll be like, I'm in a different position. It feels so much better. And then they will definitely appreciate you for that. Number 4, portable power. Make sure you include a portable power pack when you are preparing for PAX. The worst thing to happen is you get to about midday and your phone is dead. You can't find your friends, you can't access the app for your schedule. Literally the worst thing, the world will end.
Number 5, PAX buddy. It's very important to find a friend who might also be going to PAX and label them your PAX buddy. First of all, there's safety in numbers. Having a PAX buddy is really great for if you wind up in some sort of stranger danger, awkward situation. They can come in and kind of rescue you from that and take you away to better places. Also, it cuts costs a whole lot. Hotel bills and food expenses can get really expensive when you're going solo, so sometimes if you have a friend who's there splitting the cost with you, it can make it entirely more feasible to actually even go on the trip. Lastly, being alone for 3 days at a convention full of thousands and thousands and thousands of people can become kind of lonely, so it's really great to be able to have some company throughout that whole experience to really enrich the whole thing.
Number 6, you're going to want to have a home base on the floor, whether it's hanging out near a booth, or maybe it's a particular exit or lounge near some of the elevators. You want to pick one place that can be your meeting place with your friends, and also having that home base will help orient you to the design of the expo hall. I have a terrible sense of direction, and it takes me typically until the very last day of PAX to actually get a feel for where everything is, but having that place of an anchor, a booth, like for example at PAX Prime for me it was the Twitch booth, and then the last 2 PAXs it's been the Game Wisp booth. It really helps to orient you to where all the different booths on the floor are, and always give you kind of a place to return to when you're like, I have no idea where anybody went. Number 7, you're going to want to make sure that you pack a water bottle and maybe some snacks to help get you through the day. The food on the convention floor is insanely expensive, and it's often not very good. The other thing is you really, really, really do need to be drinking your water. I don't know about you, but when I'm having fun, I get distracted, and that is no bueno. If you go one day without drinking enough water, you'll wake up the next day just exhausted and depleted, and you won't have nearly as much fun. So crucial that you hydrate and nourish.
Number 8, free breakfast. So lots of hotels will actually offer free breakfast. Sometimes it costs a little bit more, and by a little bit I mean maybe $5 or $10 a night, but it is definitely worth it. The last thing you want to do when you're getting ready in the morning before PAX is be like, where are we going to have breakfast today? And you end up grabbing a donut and a coffee on the way to the convention. For example, our breakfast this time had fruit, had yogurt, some bagels, some cereal. Definitely worth it and saved us so much time and money.
Number 9, carry some cash. You'll go to a lot of places and be buying food and maybe swag or getting a taxi. You're going to be spending all this money, and sometimes you'll wind up in places where they only accept cash. So it's very important to make sure that you have some on hand. Not too much, but just a bit that'll get you by, as well as allow you to be able to pay a friend back if you wind up splitting a cab or something. So carry some cash.
Number 10, prepare for the weather. Make sure that if you're going to a convention in Florida in the middle of the summer, that you don't pack a down jacket. It is very likely unnecessary. Same as if you're going to Boston in the wintertime, probably don't want to pack short shorts. If you want to avoid hypothermia, I would suggest against it. So just check the weather a week ahead for when you're trying to leave. Make sure you pack accordingly.
Number 11. Don't forget, YouTubers and streamers are humans too. If you see your favorite streamer across the floor and you really want to go meet them, that's totally okay. You know, a lot of what they are there for is to meet their viewers and get to know people and take selfies and sign stuff. So really, they're there for that. Unless they're like a bajillion subscriber type person who's totally mobbed, they would love to meet you. And I say that from personal experience. So how do you go about doing that? Because it's a little bit scary to just walk up and introduce yourself to somebody. I know I'm bad at it. What I would suggest first is a little bit of eye contact, a smile, and you walk up and stick out your hand for a handshake. Maybe you'll get lucky and get a hug. And then you say, "Hi, Eneija, I'm MK from Twitter." Because one, you want to make sure that they don't think you mistook them for somebody else. I think I got mistaken for Cricken one time. Somebody thought that I was her and it got a little bit weird. And then two, you want to let them know what they should call you. So if you want to introduce yourself by your Twitter handle or say, "Oh, but you know, my name's MK, but you can call me MK." Give them a clue as to who you are.
Number 12, PAX app. One of the things that makes PAX really awesome is that they have an app. It's got all the exhibitors listed and their booth number. It's got maps for the expo floor and the entire convention center. Ew, shiny. I love it, and it's the best thing, and I don't know how I would survive without it.
Number 13, copy and clear your phone. Before you go on the trip, you need to make sure that you copy all of your important photos onto your computer and then clear it off. Because when you get to PAX, you're going to wind up taking all these selfies of yourself in the event, as well as you with your so-and-so friend and then this other friend. And if you don't clear off your phone beforehand, you might wind up with this inner conflict of, do I delete this photo of grandma or do I get to take this picture of this amazing YouTuber? And you don't want to be in that situation. So make sure that you copy and clear before you go on the trip.
14. So at most of the conventions, there are going to be a lot of parties. Some of them are really exclusive and nobody really gets invited to except for, you know, the super ultra most head honchos of the most super secret organizations. Illuminati confirmed. But there are a lot of parties that do have general admission. But the thing is, a lot of those, even though it is general admission, you still have to like register for them online, maybe pick up a wristband or a ticket at a booth. So be researching who might be having parties and register for them as early as you possibly can.
Number 15, Flex Day. So Flex Day is the idea that after all of PAX is over and you're super exhausted, if you had friends that you traveled with, it may be in your best interest to go ahead and have a Flex Day at the end of the trip after PAX or whatever event is over. That way you guys have a day to just rest and recoup from all the walking. So a Flex Day is a great idea because it allows you to just rest up before you actually have that full day of traveling to try and get home. It also gives you some time to spend with your friends in a low-key setting and the ability to kind of explore the city or whatever location you're at.
Speaking of a Flex Day, we're about to go eat a whole lot of sugar and do some face masks and soak our feet in the bathtub, and it's going to be awesome.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. We hope it was helpful and that you'll have some good ideas for the next time that you go to a con. On that note, goodbye!